I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said, this is a Gunna plea. This is a Gunna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a Gunna plea. What a Gunna plea is you are charging us for a RICO. Now, y'all sat here and we went over the RICO for Sean Puff Daddy Combs. Now, I get it, that's federal, this is state. But RICOs usually have about the same main components. What's a RICO? And I'm sorry I'm going this slow, but I want everybody to understand, even if you don't know nothing about the law. So a RICO, what you have to prove, a RICO is a organizational conspiracy charge. What's a conspiracy charge? It's an agreement between at least two people to do a crime. So you need at least two people to do a crime. Both of them have to know that they're doing a crime. So if you hire a nigga, if you get in an Uber and you go rob a bank, you don't get hit with a RICO. The Uber driver had no fucking idea. You and your mans in them, y'all get in a car and y'all go do a crime. That would be one of the predicate offenses for RICO. But let me explain. So you need two more people agreeing to do a crime, and you need at least two crimes that show a pattern of criminal activity. Do you get what I'm saying? Perfect. So when I say a Gunna plea, the hardest thing for the prosecutors to prove in the RICO case against Thug is that YSL was an enterprise. It was a criminal street gang. Okay? And that is a component as well. So when Gunna said YSL is a gang, and they label him in the hierarchy mode as second in command, it gives them a thing that they don't have to argue about all day because they have a defendant saying YSL is a gang. Now, after that, they have many different crimes committed by other people. They have crimes, they had multiple crimes that they accused Jeffrey Williams of being associated with, but everybody else had crimes. Oh, he shot this cop. He did this. You just need two of those crimes. And then they charged 28 people. You only needed two people to be in agreement. Do you understand how that plea helps the overall mission to get a conviction? That's what I'm saying. So let's go back to YNW Bortlen. Why do I say he signed a Gunna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually a homicide with, well, they have proved it's homicide, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. So he's saying, how do we know that was a murder? How do you know he got murdered? Number one. Even though there's proof that the dude got shot. But he's saying that the proof of that has nothing to do with me. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortlen, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, my dog's crying. What that proved is that Bortlen worked with someone after he acknowledged that a murder took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to murder after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the murder happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the murder. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know there was a murder? And then secondly, how do we know who did the murder? Because they said it was a drive-by. How the hell would Bortlen help anybody but the person he knows? How would he help the random guys who did a drive-by? That wouldn't make sense. So it would almost, in a way, it points the elbow. If you're helping someone after the fact, you're probably helping the suspect. That's what I'm saying. It's a Gunna plea. His plea eliminates the things that they were having a hard time trying to prove because his admission will help the story that they're trying to tell versus YNW Melly.